Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're going to be looking at Shine going up against Flash, a former ASL finals. Obviously Flash in great shape. Shine has had a tough time for a little bit here. It's been what has it been? 2, maybe 3 seasons since he made ASL. He's been falling out, high up in the qualifiers, but yeah, hasn't been making it through as often as he used to. I don't think that necessarily means that will continue. I think there are certain times and metagames where Shine does well. Okay, so I think when Zerg is a little bit weaker, Shine performs a little bit better. That might sound really weird to you, but he's so off meta. Trust me when I say that it kind of makes sense. We definitely have players like that that exist. I think it's more obvious in StarCraft 2 by far. Like, for instance, in StarCraft 2, we have, defensive Protoss players are very good in a stable metagame, and then you have really aggressive Protoss players that rise up when the metagame is not stable. So that's kind of a similar thing here, where it's not because of his aggression, but the different strategies that he plays. When the metagame is not really favoring Zerg, he will come up with things that allow him to win because he looks at what is making it hard to win with Zerg, and he counters that better than most players. I think that's probably the best way for me to describe that. Okay. Anyways, they're on Litmus, which I thought would be... This actually makes the match much more interesting because it's such a strange map. It has the double gas in the main base, and we've seen a lot of eBay blocks here on the hatchery, and the reason we see the eBay block is because pool first here is not even playable because of the full wall. You can simply do a full wall here. It's circling tight, and there's nothing they can do. So Flash has gone over here. He did the eBay block. He went up to make sure it wasn't pool first, then he went command center first. So, you can't really come up with a better build than that. His command center is barely behind the hatchery. Insanely good opener from Flash. In fact, I can't. What else is there to say? That was great. But look at Shine. Oh my God. I swear, the guy is just smart. Shine is just smart. So he took this position. He said, screw it, man. We'll go 3 bases immediately. And Flash, of course, with no units to speak of, can't do anything in the world about this. And before you think, well, he should just make another command center, that is not a thing. The amount that is not a thing. There are situations in Terran versus Protoss where if they take really fast 3 bases, sometimes you can actually do that with Terran and kind of utilize some spider mines or something to kind of zone them out and put together a defense that can make it work. The Zerg has this unit called a Mutalisk, where no matter what, you're going to have a hard time staying alive on 2 well-defended bases against it. So, yeah, you're not allowed to take a 3rd base quickly in this matchup. It just doesn't exist. Okay. Shine here finally gets his pool done at 3:36. That's very late. He'll be building up to that gas, and we'll see. I would imagine he goes layer quickly. It would be hilarious if he goes Hydralisk Den, truly hilarious. There's speed, so speed first. Okay, I'm down. That seems fine by me. And we'll see what comes up next. I'd imagine there's an SCV in his base, so I think you have to make layer. Even if you wanted to do Hydra, you'd have to do layer here. Because if you show Hydra, your opponent's like, oh, easy win. So 2 factories coming up here for Flash. He's going to be going into mech. It does seem like this map is a little bit Zerg favored right now, but I'm not. Well, the opener is Terran favored. Let's get that out of the way. But as the game moves forward, if everything kind of stabilizes, so far it seems like it might be a little bit Zerg favored, but I'm not 100% sold on that yet. The geysers, having an additional gas is just a big deal for Zerg. It really is. Everyone's kind of aware of that. I know when this map came out, a lot of people were like, oh man, Zerg's going to dominate here. But we've seen, because of the tight wall, the eBay blocks and things like that Terran has had some success here still. So not 100% sure. I don't want to say this as gospel when I talk about fighting spirit. you can believe everything I say about Fighting Spirit and how bad it is. But yeah, on Litmus, it's a little bit harder to say. Okay, so we've got this wall, and in fact, he's just going to break through immediately. This is something I love about Shine, is he will look at a position like that and be like, no, that doesn't actually hold. So really, really well done. He's already killed... Oh my god. Okay, so a couple vultures are coming out. So Flash is not dead. Flash is not dead, but he's taking a lot of damage. Now, don't forget, to make all these lings, you actually had to skip a lot of drones. So even though he's killed a ton of SCVs, we're actually on very even worker counts right now. More lings coming in, so this could go from bad to worse for Flash. He's getting a ton of kills. Very hard to micro in these little tight areas. More vultures popping out. He actually has vulture speed on the way, so there's going to be real counterattack potential coming up as well. Oh my god, he lost another vulture right there. If he could just build up his vulture count. Like, he's lost, I want to say 3 vultures already. But yeah, let's say he didn't lose any vultures here, you can actually counterattack and even kill Sunkens at that point. Like, you don't think of vultures ever killing Sunkens, but it is something that can occur if you have enough. Okay, so more lings coming in. He's just trying to kind of like overwhelm Flash right now. And it's kind of working. But Shine has made 2 more buildings and no more drones during this time. So he's down to 18 workers. His Spire's almost done, which is going to be a problem for Flash. The armory is up. He starts the Charon boosters. So that's going to give some potential for anti-Mutalisk. All right, these vultures luckily catch the counterattack of Zerglings. That was a really good idea from Shine. He waited to see vultures leave, and then he ran in with another group, but there was another group of vultures coming. Should be Goliaths from here on out and missile turrets. The vulture's going to try to run by. Shine blocking the top of his ramp, and he's just going to pull these drones away until his mutas are out. Nothing over here in the way of workers, it looks like. Shine is dealing with this really, really well. Really, really good dealing with that. Still took some damage, though, but kills all of those off. Okay, where the hell are we at in this game? The answer is, I don't know. 20 SCVs is garbage. 15 drones is garbage. They both have completely trash economies right now. But 3 different hatcheries at 3 different locations, so Shine can pretty quickly drone up and get a lot of hatches going and kind of fix his economy. Flash just has to consistently produce here. Now, the one thing is, if you're utilizing the mutas to kill more SCVs to try to exacerbate what's going to be your economic advantage, there's the possibility that Flash builds up to a Goliath count that can counterattack across the map with their range upgrade being done and just kill everything. Now, I think he might have canceled the range upgrade. We'll see the next time mutas fly by, but I feel like the range upgrade should not have been done yet, but maybe I'm off because there was so much action. Like, there can be worlds in which you cancel that because it costs 100 and you just need that money for something else. But let's see. We'll see in just a second. Oh, he does have it. Okay. Yeah, that would have been weird to cancel. Okay, so pushes those mutas back. You can see 29 to 23. A lot of Goliaths are being made. So it's like, are you going to go Sunkens? Okay, has one sunken, one sunken. This is an anti-Goliath sunken. This was for the vultures before, but will be useful if Goliaths come out for an attack. It's a crazy position here. Flash still definitely has potential to win, but he has to use his first move out, like, perfectly. If Shine kills an army one time, he should win this game. Like, eventually Flash is going to walk out with Goliaths, basically. Okay? If Shine eliminates those, I believe he runs away with it. Like, he'll throw down probably a Hydralisk Den, and that'll be it. You'll never get the Goliath count up again. And if you want to go Siege Tanks, you have to do it without moving out. Or the move out has to do very well, and then you can go Siege Tanks. Okay, so those are that's kind of where we're at. Starport on the way. So this points towards a much longer game. So the Starport might be him saying, okay, we're going to go towards more upgrades. He doesn't need it yet for that, but he might be looking for Science Vessels as he's taking a 3rd gas. So he might go up to Science Vessels, get a Radiate, and then go into Siege Tanks plus some Vultures. Also, this is hidden, whereas this is not. So I think right now he's trying to make it look like a Goliath all-in when it's not. That's why he would take this geyser first, because it makes more sense to take this one first, because it's 4,000 gas instead of the 3,000. Very interesting. Lots of mind games going on here. Fourth base for Shine. This is a gem of a game. Like, this is truly a unique game that we're looking at. You'll never have another one that looks quite like this. Really good pincer there from Flash. You can see, like, this single missile turret that just slightly slows the mutas down so he can bring the Goliaths from both sides forward. Now, he'll probably move these back towards here, and he'll probably move these back towards here. This is his Goliaths actually still aggroed on those mutas. He hasn't fixed that yet. He must have jumped away to do something else. So you can see Vessel, second armory. So yeah, definitely Flash building towards a longer game. I think we'll see Hydralisk Den pretty soon here. It's my bet. You can't stay muta forever, because eventually the Goliaths will outscale you, especially with 1 to 2 irradiates. Still droning, still making mutas. The thing is, if you make mutas nonstop and then they walk out with just the Goliaths and you kill the Goliaths with the mutas, that's very hard to come back from as Terran. So I feel like that's what he's been waiting for. Because then you just kind of go back into the cycle of making more Goliaths. Still no other tech here from Shine. Shine is adding a gas. The thing is, Shine actually does things like this. This is part of why Shine is so good, and also part of why he sometimes loses. As I oftentimes say, your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness. The only time where that's not the case is the very top players, Flash and Sulky specifically. Maybe Soma. But yeah, it's like, this is Shine's strength in many ways. Most Terrans would have moved out by now. He's literally just making endless groups of mutas. If there's no splash damage, this is maybe a winning move. There's splash damage, though. See that? Hundreds and hundreds of damage being dealt. So you can see that that did not work out simply because of Irradiate. But against anyone that's not going to Radiate here, fantastic move from Shine. Now, he might double down and keep going mutas. I've seen him do things like that before. Where he's like, yeah, that sucked, but we're still going to do it. Okay, Evolution Chamber, Hydralisk Den. So he is getting ready for the switch. Flash, I think here... I think he'll switch into tanks, but I'm not 100%. He might actually just stay on Goliaths because there's not Hydras yet. Against Sunkens and Hydras and stuff, you do eventually need siege tanks. But in this particular game, like, because we can see everything. We can tell that actually if he just makes Goliaths and moves out, he might be okay with that too. Okay, siege tank is on the way. This is an absurd amount of mutas that he has. Jeez. A few Scourge coming out as well. Looks like he wants to try to pick off some of those vessels. By the way, 1/1 upgrades are done for the mutas with +2 flyer carapace on the way. Rare that you see 3 upgrades on Mutalisks, but this is going to be one of those rare times. Might want to throw down some more Sunkens here. Sunkens really kind of screw with Goliath AI. They have a hard time against that. You have to take lots of free shots from Sunkens to kill them with Goliaths, because you kind of have to walk all the Goliaths forward. Their range is like surprisingly long, but they're kind of fat units, so like you don't want them at range attacking Sunkens. You want them closer. Okay, here we go. A couple of Radiates going to go out before the Scourge can reduce all these. And this is insane. Wait, is Shine going to clear these? I don't think so. I think Flash just barely... No. Oh my god. That was insane. Okay, here's the funny part. He killed 2 vessels. Oh, I was just going to say, see how he's making mutas? I was like, here's the funny part. Don't make Hydras. Just make mutas again. Chills. Chills. Shine is so smart. Right? You were probably looking at this and saying, yeah, this is the wrong move. He's going to lose now. But here he is making 13 more mutas after losing all his mutas to Irradiate Goliath. And it's actually the right play. Look at this. He's going to eliminate all these. Like, there's one vessel, I believe. Right there. It doesn't have the energy for another Radiate. He's reducing this a lot once again. He's going up to a 5th base during this time. Eventually, he switches out of this, of course. Look at this. He picks off the Siege Tank, and that pairs up perfectly with his switch into Hydralisks. He actually has a switch into Hydras. And here flashes every factory making Goliaths, because he's like, damn, this guy just won't stop making mutas. But now he switches. Oh, my God. Dude, I have goosebumps all over. All over. Shine is one of the most entertaining players in the world. I need to find some Shine versus Toggles games. Seriously, Shine is unbelievable watching this guy play. Really approaches StarCraft in a different way from everyone else. All right, here come the Hydras now as well. Now, this is a very small group of Hydras. I don't know, because it's 2-1 against the Hydras that are 0-0 right now. Radiate goes off on the mutas. Tries to utilize that for a little bit of extra damage, I guess. Siege tanks having to be made. The funny thing is, too... Oh, target this, target this. He's actually killing more Goliaths. There could be one more switch into mutas again. Because he's going heavy Hydras, and I think it's 100% correct to go heavy Hydra right now. Yeah. Oh, my God. This attack really, really good. But this is going to force a lot of siege tanks, and then you might have an opportunity. Look, he just started +2 fire attacks. Shine knows everything. No, he's setting himself up perfectly here. Really, this... Okay, so people nowadays go queens against mech generally to kill it. The older way to kill mech was very sharp unit transitions. Things like exactly what you see here. See this? 11 mutas, and he's upgrading drop and everything. Very sharp unit transitions used to be the way that you killed it. Things have changed a bit. You know, people are really good at utilizing queens now, so that's more oftentimes what you see, but this is a very valid way, and in fact, how mech used to be killed a lot of the time. So this switch back into mutas, like, what are we going to have? We're going to have one Irradiate here, and not that many Goliaths. Really not that many. So when he brings these mutas down, he might just switch, just kill the tanks and then attack in with a Hydra, something like that. It's a lot of tanks right now. Flash has like exactly enough to hold everything, but Shine, I think, is going to overwhelm him. Look at this. These start to get in on top of the Goliaths. Here come the mutas, targeting down siege tanks. Notice he doesn't ball them up. He's trying to play anti-irradiate here a little bit. And Shine looks like he's just going to overwhelm. GG. Guys, that was a startlingly good game. This is one of those games where I'm not a smoker, but I need a cigarette after this game, man. I'm just lightly covered with sweat, laying back in my computer gamer chair, just totally in post-castle bliss. Damn, what a game. What a sick, sick, sick game. God, I hope this shines in ASL next season. Guys, thank you for watching. See you next time.